Today on episode 163 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, Cookout, Concert Season, and the TCF Top 3 of Fruit. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans. It is episode 163, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure to find us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like as well. For all of our content in video form, we are on YouTube. Just type in Typical Chicago Fans. Hit that subscribe button. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there as well. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. And, of course, the gentleman that I am joined with tonight, we got Zach at ZLiliaTCF and Maddie at schools_01. Boys, we're back. This week's a little different. Not necessarily feeling like the hot boiling July summer. Matt, I talked about it last week when you were gone. This is kind of getting that feeling of what we talk about in December, where we get a mild December or a mild January, and we just know that February is going to hit. Are we starting to get that feeling about August, where we're going to get like 95, 100-degree days?
I think we already got our wave of that. I think we have a perfect summer. I'm going for a perfect summer the rest of the way out, like no more than like 84.
If it stays under 90 the rest of the summer, I'll be happy.
That would be phenomenal, wouldn't it? I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for football. I'm ready for everything up before about November 15th.
Yeah, I that's hard to argue with you. Fall is the best.
That stretch of like about October 7th through November 15th.
That's the sweet spot.
Primo weather.
We'll have to make sure we celebrate October 7th of the primo weather coming in.
It's just, being a bigger guy, it helps. So.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We all can relate there. Me and Zach kind of avoided the bad weather that happened. Did you get any of that? Those nasty storms up in the suburbs this week?
A couple miles north in Campton Hills, there was a tornado. It was nothing big. I just kind of lingered in a cornfield. It sounded like, but sirens went off in Sugar Grove when I was driving home. Then, so it was. I mean, we've dealt with worse, obviously.
It was weird because I saw all that and it was like beautiful here.
Yeah, the sky was kind of jacked up because like half.
But it was right on like Lake Michigan.
Yeah, the lake will. Everyone says like the lake will like kind of break up like any really significant tornadoes as it gets closer. But I mean, even just if one were to hit like in the heavy suburb area, that'd be really fucking bad. Like,
I saw one with close to
that Plainfield one. The Plainfield one was horrendous, and that was before Plainfield's population blew.
Yeah, that was like 91.
As catastrophic as it was, that would be like extremely bad now.
Yeah.
Like,
O'Hare, there was one close to I think O'Hare.
Yeah, Woodstock.
Yeah, O'Hare yeah. Could you imagine being stuck in that fucking airport and having to like shelter in place with God knows how many tens of thousands of other people at fucking O'Hare? Get out of here.
No,
and then you have to get on a plane.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you're guaranteed that you're going to have how many cancellations and delays too.
Oh, yeah. Then you get to like that final destination feeling like if I don't get on this plane,
that we're turning around and going back.
No thanks. And just a little foreshadowing when we get to my floater, there's going to be mention of a plane coming. So
all right. Well, let's on that note, let's go ahead and jump into things. As always, we've got sinkers and floaters. I'll start with my sinker. And that's Pat Fitzgerald. If you haven't heard the news, I'm assuming you've been living under a rock. Pat Fitzgerald was fired by Northwestern 2 days after he was given a 2-week suspension for hazing going on in his program. And there's some oddities in the story, but I will say this, and I know I'm just a high school basketball coach, but at the Division I level, I understand that football teams have hundreds of guys on them. But those guys rule those places with an iron fist, okay? I don't believe that Pat Fitzgerald didn't know what was going on. And if he did, he should be fired for that too. if you're in charge of people at any level, as in a coaching capacity, you have to have a thumb on what is going on in your program. And if
you're speaking from a little bit of, I just wanted to say you're speaking from a little bit of experience here too. So this is, I think, where coming from your perspective, I think carries a little bit of weight because you have a grasp of what a fucking coach is supposed to know, or what a coach is supposed to, where a coach is supposed to be in tune, what they're supposed, what do you trust of your assistants to know and not know? What do you things like that.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's that hierarchy and structures in place for things to make their way to the coach that need to make their way to the coach, whether he's aware of it or not.
Exactly.
And so somebody knew something.
And that's like, I mean, I know I was only involved with a Division I women's basketball program, obviously a lot less people, but like, I truly don't feel that any good coach, especially at Division I, like we all know that at some like sort of level, they're all kind of like egomaniacs. They know what those guys or girls are doing at all times. And anytime I see a coach that, well, I didn't know, there's no way they didn't know at some point that there was something fishy going on. And like I said,
sorry.
And I'm just saying, if they truly didn't know, then they shouldn't be allowed to be in charge of 150 18 to 22-year-olds. So good riddance. What's
annoying me is all these people are like, oh, well, it's just one guy who had a problem with Coach Fitzgerald or whatever. It's like, that's what it takes for something like this to happen.
Exactly.
For one guy it's just because he doesn't like the coach doesn't mean it's not true. It just takes one guy that's going to stand up and say something for something like this to come to light.
I mean, my only thing on it, and this is where I might be a little bit jaded or whatever, or cynical, however it may come across, but I think that there's a difference too if Fitzgerald isn't, 4-20 in his last
100%.
2 seasons, and where you look at like what Nate Oates went through this last season with Alabama, and there's a player on his team that got charged with murder. Another player charged with or possibly being investigated for accessory, not only being a single player, but like his best player. And there was not even a whiff of him being suspended for any stretch of time, really. And then, so it's like, I think I'm not going to give Northwestern a whole ton of praise here, like the institution itself for, taking care of, some problem, because I can guarantee you if he was coming off of 2 10-win seasons, I don't think it gets the reaction it did.
I understand what you mean by that, though, but he also went 1-10, 1-11.
Yeah,
and there was not even one single word said that he could be fired. That's what kind of job that he had, and he just ruined it.
It's a valid point.
He ruined a job where he can be awful. They can be awful. They've been awful the last few years, and not one time has any reporter or anybody said, hey, I think Pat Fitzgerald might lose his job. The biggest
or even suggested that he should.
Yeah.
Let alone report that he's about to, but even suggested that he should.
Yeah, no one said anything. Before, what was it, a few weeks ago or a week ago that this all came out, he was going to work there until he wanted to leave.
I mean, this was like one of the guys who played there, lives there, career there, whatever it may be. He's gonna die there, kind of thing.
He played there when he was in college. He's gonna coach there until he doesn't want to. But now, who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah, it'd be weird to see how it shakes out. And then they canned the baseball coach.
He's gonna get his money.
Baseball coach got canned.
Their baseball coach got canned today too. So it's just one of those. Just keeps the story keeps growing.
This is why the world sucks because. In a way, because he's going to get his money. He's going to get paid whatever, $20-30 million at some point. If it takes going to court or whatever. And that's what sucks about the whole thing. Guys like that can get a job, get that big contract, and then lose their job, and he's still going to get paid at the end.
Right.
I mean, maybe.
And like I said, the argument that people be like, oh, you don't think this happens at other places? Like, oh, it happens at, places and it doesn't get talked. No, like, I don't feel like this kind of stuff goes on at Alabama, right? Like, this stuff doesn't happen at, places that are ran efficiently and done correctly, right? If you have coaches that have their thumb on the pulse and don't put up with this stuff, like, Yeah, I'll be honest. Like Matt, you made a good point. Like, are we sitting here having this conversation if Northwestern was, what was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when they were, 10 wins and went to
9-3,
the
I think, that year, and
yeah,
trying to get into the Big Ten
But
title
if you're
game.
and it
Northwestern, you
sucks
have to feel
because
so
like
dumb because you go from giving a guy a 2-week suspension in the middle of the summer to
yeah,
firing him over stuff you probably already knew about.
yeah, bad look.
I'll see. It'd be interesting to see how it shakes out. That's for sure.
Yeah,
People are
especially
going,
his.
oh, why is the Pat Fitzgerald stuff getting talked about more? It's football over a baseball at Northwestern. They're
Yeah,
both horrible stories, but Pat Fitzgerald is going to get talked about more because it's insane that like a guy like that 17 years he was there.
hmm And there was even like talk about this, like his dated back to the coaches before him, but like still, like you're a D1 coach, dude. You know what's going on. I don't buy that for a second. So that's
Oh,
just
just
my
wait,
2
he'll be on
cents.
the Bears staff.
Remember like 2 years ago, he was like rumored to be going to the NFL. Like, don't see that happen anytime soon.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
No, let's go with my sinker. I don't know how you guys feel about this. The NBA in-season tournament. I think this is going to be dumb.
I think you're wrong.
I just don't know any of these NBA players. I don't understand that it's going to be the same amount of games after all of it's said and done. But I just don't see like any of these guys, especially the money they're going to make already. Was it like $500,000 or they might make? I
Yeah,
have
each
no
player
idea.
gets 500,000.
Yeah, I just think it's dumb.
I know it's like comparing apples and oranges, but the WNBA implemented something like this. I don't know if it was last year or this year. They call it the Commissioner's Cup, and I like it for the fact that like they play games like all day. I don't know how the NBA's like game formats, but like the other day I turned on the Sky. We're playing Connecticut at like 10 in the morning, and they were playing games all day. And I don't know. I like it. I think it's not going to really. You're not going to see a ton of difference in like the feeling of the regular season until those like semifinal and final games. And like I'm all up for like games that mean something in the middle of the year. There's always that like lull time where they're competitors, they're NBA players, they're going to go out and play. So especially with cash on the line, like I think that this is going to watching these games are going to have a more intense feeling than a random December 6th game between the Pacers and the Jazz. There's going to be more sustenance to it, is what I'm hoping for anyway.
I want it to be over Christmas. I want it to be 5 days. I want it to be games, double elimination tournament starting at 9 in the morning, just like a fucking Plano Christmas tournament. That's what I want, that mirrored in the NBA, where it's games starting at 9 and it do it at like Butler's, gym, where it's only like, a couple thousand people, where it's just got that. I want that vibe. Give me that.
I'd be all in on that. I don't know. I think because like the game number wise, they have to keep everybody at 82. So I don't know how they're going to format, like say those teams in those groups that go 0-5 or 0-4 or whatever, they didn't play like a losers bracket consolation.
Yeah, double elimination. Yeah, double elimination.
Yeah, I'm all. I think as long as, and I think a lot
if you
of it
keep
was
losing triple elimination or quad, like just
whatever you need to do.
Whatever.
It looks it looked like there was like group play.
Yeah, it's group play
like
into a
FIFA
tournament
World Cup
style
kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like
where
World Cup, that's a good way to put it.
top two teams advance, or top, the winner of each group advances or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to see this year. Like if we can see like good, intense basketball in those games, then I'm all for it. If it's going to be the same stuff we see in a regular season, then what's the point? But I mean, I don't know.
Let's not kid ourselves. I do agree with you, Boomy, that like regardless of the meaning of it, it doesn't carry any weight. It's way more cool playing in the Maui shootout than fucking watching Boston College and Clemson play at Boston College.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like there is that kind of, I think that's why the location is important. And I maybe being a little sarcastic with, throwing Butler's gym out there, but I think like you do some kind of old school, like kind of throwback setup to where like
So back
like
to the bubble.
kind of the feel like all these guys when they played in like these holiday Christmas high school tournaments and stuff. I think it'd be sweet.
Yeah, it's gonna go, I think, one of two ways. It's gonna go like where it's competitive, or like I think that like Zach also makes a good point on how it could go. It could go
I'm
bad
not
and it
looking
not
forward to
be.
it, really. I'm not gonna mark my calendar for the NBA in-season tournament. We just see too much of resting and stuff like that.
That'll be also interesting.
I'll watch with like moderate interest, like going into it.
Be like a second or third TV.
What I also hope doesn't happen is like I hope that they don't just start resting guys to get ready for the in-season tournament too.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Load management, baby.
Maddie, what's your sinker this week?
Mine's gonna be also kind of kicking off the NBA a little bit. The newest superstar to enter the league is my sinker this week, and that's Victor Wembanyama, not knowing who Britney Spears was. And maybe that's a problem for me that I'm just that old that
did
the
he
number
not
one
know
pick
or
in
did
the NBA.
security not know?
Whatever it may be, it should have been him chasing her around. Like you just, if you're in the same room with Britney Spears, you know where Britney Spears. Like it's just like if you know who
nowadays
she is.
Britney Spears
Doesn't matter, dude. Like flags fly forever, and it's
she's very well known worldwide right now.
Yeah, I mean,
not for the best reason.
At least a little hat tip, something. If you don't want to have a conversation because you're disturbed about what's been, the way she's moved on in her life at this point, fine. But hat tip, very least, not acting like who the hell are you? And my security is kind of gonna move your wrist into your face. So
yeah, I saw the video. I'm like, yeah, she definitely hit herself, but
yeah, she hit herself, and it was more of a bad look for her. I think the way the video came out, and like
I did not know who that was.
Like people coming out like after Victor Wembanyama for that is just you're a complete and utter asshole if you're doing that.
That's kind of goes to the was it Adam Hadwin or whatever that got body slammed though, at the Canadian Open.
Oh yeah.
And people are like ragging on the security guard. I'm like, that guy did his job. Adam Hadwin did not have a pass on. And like, yes, Matt, I agree. The security guard probably after all of this happened was like, holy crap, that was Britney Spears. But like at the same time,
man, I don't know, swivel.
Yeah,
what role is she doing that? Why is she doing that?
Because she has her whole life, dude. That's all she's done her whole life. Like no one's ever told her no to anything.
There's
no way she knows who that is. She's not watching the track.
Actually, I take that back. It's Britney Spears. She was told no for a long time through her
now she's
guardianship case. So I retract my previous statement. But anyway, yes, that whole scenario, that's my sinker. So.
He also just played 2 games and stopped playing.
He got one good one in, and now everyone has to leave him alone.
Well, he got dunked on in the first one. He couldn't quit after that.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen for a little while for this kid.
I think he'll be all right. Let's move on to the floaters. My floater is the country of Canada, and that is because last week on the podcast, me and Zach made a point about Ian Happ being the leader in international home runs. And my smart-ass dad texted me, and he goes, "Oh, Canada's not international anymore?"
No.
I was like, dude, first of all, the Toronto Blue Jays don't count. All right. No one cares about Canada. But he made a point to correct that he is not the leader in international home runs because anyone who hits home runs in Canada. So my dad making sure that Canada stays on
That doesn't count. I'm sorry.
He's very correct. I'm sorry. I got to go.
He is, but
the correct statement. The correct statement is the home run leader in Europe.
It also sounded awesome when I said it too.
Yeah,
it did, but I gotta stick with him on this one. I'm sorry, guys.
All right, how about this?
I'm not trying to be a person.
Ian Happ has the most home runs in London.
Europe. Ooh. Just give him the whole continent. Give him the whole continent. Give him Europe. That's fine. I'll give him Europe.
Canada.
He's a European home run king.
There. I don't even. That's
actually. You probably don't want me to look this up, but there was the Yankees-Red Sox series in London in 2019, and I know some of those games were
this year.
Oh, okay. All right.
I made sure it was this year. I knew there's been London games before.
Yeah, there was Oh yeah, somebody from Boston hit 2 home runs in the first game. So yeah,
He's still the home run king of Europe. That's the way.
yep,
That's what it
This
is.
year.
home run king of Europe. So yeah,
My
I had to
floater,
address the text I got from my dad the next day.
We should superimpose Ian Happ on like a Churchill picture.
we'll have something to say tomorrow too.
Oh yeah,
My
Give the big
floater,
stogie.
my floater is actually being on vacation. Because
Now-
last week I said I was going to be on vacation. I was wrong. Was not the next coming week. It's this week. This coming week. So
that's so
I'm actually
tough.
on vacation now. As of 3:30 on Friday. So yeah, last week I said I was on vacation. I lied.
Shout out.
We got to the golf course on Saturday, and Zach was like, "You're not going to believe this, but I actually am not on vacation this week." I was like, "What?" Forgot what week vacation was.
Hey, it's like a bonus now.
I guess it was tough though.
Zach, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard was work this week?
Probably a 6.
Okay, well,
I would
that's
say
not
it's like an
bad,
8 after I figured out that I had to work.
still, if you'd been like, "Oh, it's 10, it was the toughest week of the year," then I'd be like, "Yeah, that sucks even more." But since it wasn't the worst week,
It wasn't hot enough.
yeah, knock on wood.
The worst
Keep it
week
that
ever.
way.
Better upcoming week than fucking forgetting about it being the last week, and then you just worked right through it. So,
Oh, that would be bad. But vacation now, so.
I got my vacation.
Matt, you got a floater?
I do. Mine is I'm sick. Well, I guess my first one wasn't as much a viral video, but my floater is a recent trend of viral videos that have just got me captivated. And there's 2 of them. And the internet is really just coming to play big time lately, especially with the writers' strike, the actors' strike. So entertainment could be in a world of hurt. Viral videos are bailing us out. The first one being that motherfucker is not real one. That chick is a smoke, and she went banana land on that plane. And that I need to know, where is she? Why isn't she sending? Why has nobody found her? What is the deal with her? I need to. I'm captivated by this, trying to figure out what actually happened. Trying to sort through all the BS.
Was this person actually not real? That's what I want to know.
Dude, I want to make sure, for one, it's the green guy in the sweatshirt, that's the not real guy in the first place, because I don't even know that that's verified yet. So we need to the world needs to find her. That's just what it needs to come down to. We need to know what's going on.
She might be crazy, but we need an interview.
Well, especially with the recent issues with all the alien encounters and things getting uncovered. We're obviously being visited. If she knows something, we need to know something. So see something, say something. All right. The next one, though, is...
Or she could be on drugs.
She was hammered.
True. And the next one, I was laying on my couch last night, literally by myself, trying not to audibly laugh out loud to wake up my family. I'm dying watching this video, literally on repeat. It's the cat pervert. And the cat pervert, the cat pervert is
he keeps saying it.
His facial expression, the fact that he looks like a kind of a surf town Hulk Hogan and like off steroids. It's just it's all of it.
His wife, funny part is when he goes, "Well, how am I supposed to tell your cat to go back to his yard?" And he goes, "Go like this. Go like this."
Yeah, you just do this. It's a cat. He's a cat. He doesn't understand. Everybody understands this means go home. Dude, cat pervert. Get the pointing at him. Cat pervert. You know, you're harboring.
I also have to say this. I have no animals. A guy with a dog or a lady with a dog would never do this.
No, for sure.
Only somebody that has a cat.
You cannot recover from getting called cat pervert.
And he thought
it was so funny though. It was hilarious. And his wife was on nobody's side.
The guy recording it, who was, when you obviously want to strip down to the nuts and bolts of it, is obviously in the right, because it's not his cat. He's not like grabbing the cat, bringing him over. You know what I mean? So outside of that fact, you have to start rooting for this guy at some point.
Because I've never heard of somebody getting mad at somebody else for their cat going into my yard.
Right. But that's such a compelling argument. And when you get eviscerated cat pervert, like just repeatedly over and over, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong in the argument, you've lost. Like you're labeled cat pervert for the rest of your life. If I'm the recorder's friends, I am calling him cat pervert literally to the fucking day he's buried into the ground.
But the thing is, they never see the other guy. The guy who said it, I think, is going to be called that for the rest of his life.
I don't know. He's got that ace in his sleeve. He created cat pervert. Fine, call me cat pervert at that point. That guy's the original cat pervert's the neighbor.
His wife seemed like she had none of that.
She's seen some dark shit. That woman has seen some real dark days.
The internet never fails to let us down. That is for sure. Let's go ahead and move ourselves.
Exit the show with cat pervert just replaying like repeatedly over and over.
He was on a loop for 10 minutes.
And the way he said it, he was so serious.
He's just committed to it. He's very he's used cat pervert before.
He said that before.
Yeah, that wasn't the first time.
Yeah. He created
100%.
it. I'm not saying he didn't, but that's not the first time he's called someone a cat pervert.
I just love that term. Let's jump into the TCF Sports Minute. This is arguably the worst week of sports in the entire calendar, but we're going to go ahead and get things started off with the Cubs, who open up today with the second half of the season, sitting at 42-47, 7 games out of the Central Division, 6.5 back of the wild card. We kind of beat it around a little bit last week, but what are you guys expecting in the second half of this season out of the Cubs?
I think that they're going to have to prove themselves at the start of this second half, or everyone's getting traded.
Yeah, I think you got 2.5 weeks.
You got a few weeks. If you can get back in the division a little bit, maybe you keep the guys. But if you're 10 games out or something like that in the next 2 weeks, people are getting traded, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I think one of the other things that I think you're spot on that, Zach, and obviously we talked a little bit about it, but if you can get the right deals, there's really no one on this team, outside of, the really young guys that I wouldn't,
but also,
be opposed to
trade. A few games here, the Reds, I just don't know if they're going to be able to sustain what they've been doing. The Brewers, not that great. If they can get back into it, that'd be awesome too, but it's just going to come down the next few weeks.
Definitely. And the other thing that I'm looking for in this second half is when some of these younger, these big names in the system start getting the call-ups. We talked about guys like Brennan Davis.
For some reason, they do end up trading some guys, and the season kind of is over with in a way. Maybe you'll see like a Pete Crow Armstrong, or you'll see a Matt Mervis come back or something like that.
For sure. I think that, I've been starting to follow the Iowa Cubs and the Tennessee Smokies a little bit more intently here lately, just to kind of see maybe some of the names that we might be seeing in September. So I also worry that if they do get back in this division, is this a team that's going to go on a run and get to the NLCS? I really don't think so. But if you can, I definitely
at some point just get in though. I mean.
Yeah, you're right, but I don't want to see them go broke and be seller or be buyers at the deadline.
But in a short game series, I actually feel pretty good about Stroman, Steele, and Hendricks.
True.
And
yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying it's the best rotation out there, but that they'll compete. I can assure you of that. So I think getting into it, anything can happen. I mean, we've seen some crazy shit happen in the play. I'm not saying they'll win it.
True.
You win a series, and all of a sudden, things just open up. You never know.
That is true. You got high expectations for the second half, Matty?
I don't. I feel like they're just going to end up trading, and it sucks because I do think. Granted, they're what, 6 back from Cincy right now. I think
7. Yeah,
7 back from Cincy. They have 8 games with them left. 8 or I think it's 8. I think it's 8 games with Cincy left. So you can obviously make some ground there. I'm not saying the whole thing, but you can. You take, go 6-2, you make up 4 right there, and 6-2 isn't unheard of. You know what I mean? So, outside of that, though, since he doesn't have top tier pitching. They can mash, and they're in a hitter's park. Obviously, so they're going to score, but their pitching's got some holes, and I think it's going to be really hard to sustain the way they've been playing. And if they do, and they just caught a hot wave, and you just deal with it in the offseason and try to get better. But I do think they're not necessarily out of it. If they have another good 2-3 week stretch here before the end of July and finish up strong, I'd hate to see him blow the whole thing up and do this all over again. Like, it's just this wash, rinse, repeat shit.
I feel like Jed is hoping that they can get back into it, make the end of the season fun, and they don't have to kind of look like they're trying to redo it all.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like you got a guy like Stroman who clearly wants to be there. And it's, like at some point, start keeping guys there. And
yeah,
I understand he might not be the right investment from like a long term. You don't have a ton of faith that what he's doing this year he's going to be able to do for 3, 4, 5 years. I get it.
And
but at some point, Boris, somebody needs to be paid. Somebody needs to be paid somewhere down the line.
His agent's Boris, right?
I'm not sure who his agent is. It wouldn't shock me, but
I thought I heard that the other day because they said he's most likely going to make it to free agency then.
Okay. Yeah, well, if he's a Boris guy, he'll
Brody Van Wagenen.
Oh, that's an old Mets GM.
Is now represented. Yep, is now represented by the executive who once traded for him. Switched agency with Rock Nation Sports.
I feel like he's going
to
Jay-Z. Maybe they get like a thing where they say, "Hey, I'm going to trade you, bring it back afterwards."
You just don't. I agree. You just don't know.
That's not going to happen.
The bridge is always
a guy like
getting
Stroman.
burned.
He's not going to do that.
Yeah, he takes shit personally, right or wrong.
It could be a lot worse.
I love that, but I just want the Cubs to keep him.
Yeah,
I just keep some good players. Let's start getting some good players. Like, I don't know. I want to. I'll going to be repeating myself when we get to the Blackhawks. So,
Well, like I said, it could be a hell of a lot worse. We could be the White Sox, 37-51, 8 games out of the division, 12.5 out of the wild card. Luis Robert got hurt in the home run derby. I mean,
that's insane. Unfortunate. Insane.
They did just yesterday traded for Mike Mayers from the Kansas City Royals, who was at AAA all year, 6.88.
It's not going to make any difference on this team. This team is done. They're done.
And the common rumor is that Giolito is about as good as gone.
You got to strip this down. Like, you got to figure out who you're keeping and what's the last couple parts. If it's Dylan Cease,
Robert, you keep maybe Eloy, and then I heard that you keep Andrew Vaughn because he has such a great contract. Yeah. Other than that,
I'd keep Robert. I'd keep Robert. I'm fine with Vaughn, and I'd agree with Cease, and then the rest could just deuces.
I think I would keep Cease unless I'm given like a package that I can't turn down. You know what I mean? Like, I still think Dylan Cease is he's
got ace potential if he's not there
exactly.
yet. He's knocking on the door.
You can't just have nobody in the starting rotation.
But if a team like the Dodgers or somebody comes out and wants to pay up for him and ship
then you give him Kopech and Giolito and whoever the hell else and let him feast on those guys.
Who would have thought this team would be here right now?
I never would have thought that this team would be worse than the Cubs.
The corpse of Lance Lynn, maybe you can get something for him too.
Just let him wear his let him wear his Team USA World Baseball Classic. He pitched out of his ass that whole tournament. I mean, that's about the only thing they can do for him right now.
I know we're Cubs fans or whatever, but it does suck for the White Sox fans. They deserve better than that. I mean, they're just getting awful.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, it's tough.
Last week it was nice. We were able to talk about it. We didn't have Maddie saying that.
The voice of reason.
I didn't know. I'm just being. This is an opinion-based show, so I'm giving my opinion.
Exactly. No, it to me, like, I don't feel much sympathy because of how many times between 2017 and now have we heard that, like, oh, this will never happen again. You guys got lucky one year. We're the next up, like, and it's just has not worked out. So
Either
Just
way,
to tear it down and rebuild is not a guarantee. So anybody who tells you it is yeah.
But also at the same time, like, I feel like summers in Chicago are a little bit better when both teams are competitive. And there's
I agree, but fine,
substance.
like this, and this is where I'm getting pissed with the Cubs doing this shit, where it's like the constant rebuild, where if like, and I hate this team more than anything, but you got a team like the Cardinals have a pretty good upper middle tier payroll, and they keep cycling in, not like the Mike Trout level contracts of veterans, but they keep having a constant flow of good veterans and bringing in young players with it. And why can't anybody else like figure out how to do the same freaking thing? Because it's like,
speaking of the St. Louis Cardinals, they will be trading people at the deadline.
but this is granted,
But then
this year they're
back
not very
in
good.
3 years
This year's a freaking outlier though too for them. Like let's be real, a team every year it's like they just keep reloading. It's
except this year they suck.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. Trust me, I have no issue with that. But
watch.
I would rather be in that spot where you're not always stripping it down every 3 years.
They're going to take these pieces that they're going to trade Nolan Arenado and, whoever pieces that they decide to get rid of. They're going to take those prospects. Somehow those prospects are going to turn out to be great. Then they're going to sign 2 or 3 veterans, and they're going to be back in 3 years. It's a cycle I've seen for the last 32 years of my life. So, in a completely other note, the Bulls are in Summer League. 2-2. I watched them today. I really like that Freeman Liberty kid. He's got an opportunity, I think, to play some for the Bulls.
That's the most American name of all time. Freeman Liberty.
I think it's Jalen Freeman Liberty.
The Bulls play like noon today.
Yeah, it was like 1 o'clock. Javon Freeman Liberty. So 2-2 on the Summer League. The kid that took in the draft is kind of a freak. Saw him make a couple nice plays. But I'll be honest, the big news out of Bulls camp this week is they were given $10 million in relief on Lonzo Ball's contract. Not looking good for Lonzo. I'll be honest, right now, if you had to press me, I don't know if Lonzo Ball will ever play basketball again.
Well, they said the surgery he's had, no one's ever played basketball after having it. So it's not looking good.
That sucks. That sucks.
3 years? Season will be 3 years, no basketball.
If they ever determine
that
it was
the middle of that 1 year. Or
they can't pinpoint it to the shoes, but there's definitely some correlation, maybe not necessarily causation.
Because I don't know, I was looking at Chicago Bulls GIFs on Twitter, and I saw the one where Lonzo threw that awesome pass up to Zach LaVine, like full court, and Zach LaVine slam dunks it or whatever, and it's just like,
dude, they were murdering teams when he was there. They were murdering teams. It was a totally different squad when he was there.
Sucks.
And it was such a small. It was like a small time. We played 20 games.
It was October, November, December, and then I think he got hurt in January.
Maybe 40. Maybe that'd be generous.
Maybe. Yeah,
we'll say somewhere between the 20 and 40.
It was like, oh, he'll be out for a few weeks. Maybe it's something wrong with his knee.
And they initially said before the end of the playoffs, or before the start of the playoffs.
Yeah,
it was right around the time that Caruso broke his wrist, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Caruso comes back, and you're like, well, where's Lonzo?
He played 35 games.
35.
I have no faith that the Bulls are going to be anytime soon.
You know what? I've really gotten to the point where it's like, this front office has got to show me something. We got so happy because we didn't like Garn Pax. We get new guys there, and they've done nothing really. I mean, what they got Nikola Vucevic. That worked out great.
Yeah, we extended
Patrick Williams.
Well, he was the one who signed DeMar though.
Which has been great, but also
he's also the one that didn't trade LaVine when he could have got something for him last year too.
Yeah.
And another complaint your dad had that we were giving them shit about the front office, but I don't care who you've drafted in the past. It's when you got the main job for the Bulls, what have you done? And we're very average at best, and that's not where you want to be in this NBA.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up what who all that Karnisovas has drafted, but I'm having a hard time here getting everything.
We lost the pick this year because of the Vucevic trade, and I know we re-signed him. He's been playing pretty well, but he's never been an all-star for us, has he?
Vooch? No, because last year was only his first full year.
But he comes over, well, it's an all-star. That's what you hear. He's an all-star.
Yeah. Yeah, so his first pick was
Meanwhile, he did let Markkanen go, and he did let
yeah. You mean the guy who was an all-star the next year?
Yeah, who's the dude from Orlando in the trade?
Wendell Carter.
Wendell Carter. Jesus, I just drew a complete blank there. I thought I was having like a stroke. Wendell Carter. Like between those two guys, it'd be really nice to have them instead of Vooch.
Yeah.
No offense to you, Manny, but he's played well. But Kobe White, he hasn't been what you want him to be. He's played well at the end of last year, and hopefully he can keep moving from that.
1,000% agree.
Not what you expect out of the 7th pick in the draft.
Or it kind of is what you expect. It almost kind of is what you expect out of the 7th pick, where it's like flashes.
Good, but not great. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, he doesn't have
a lot of time in this Bulls team too.
They must like him because they extended him.
Yeah. We'll see. Let's end on some positive notes. We haven't had Maddie on since we talked Connor Bedard. Maddie's probably been in 7th heaven since the draft. I think the big one here, obviously, Bedard is huge, but like the other signings that have meant something to you, the trades that they've pulled off, the pieces that they've picked up since.
Getting Taylor Hall and Foligno in that deal was having those two guys who've seen it, who've done it, been around forever, been playing with good young players for a long time. Two really good guys to have in that locker room with Bedard to kind of get him acclimated to the league. They're both like kind of, can be leaders. You probably got your built-in captain with Foligno, I assume, is probably going to wear a suit.
You got an enforcer, kid that's somebody's going to protect him, or
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily an enforcer. I mean, Foligno's just kind of a scrapper. He's just like, he's going to play a physical game, but he's not going to be like. It's not like getting in fights and stuff. He's not like
he's not a goon out there.
Yeah, he's not a goon. He's just like a good two-way, grinder. Will get you some goals, plays good defense, show you how to play the game the right way. And I think Taylor Hall is perfect for Bedard's wing. And, he can score. He's got good size. He can play up front. He's still got good speed. He's played with studs. He knows where to go. He knows he knows the game inside and out at this point. He's a longtime veteran, former number 1 pick himself. Kind of walk Bedard through that whole, you're the man. You're walking into this hockey market. Taylor Hall did it in Edmonton. He, played well in Boston. He won an MVP in New Jersey. So it's like he's played in, big markets for big teams. And I think he's a really good fit for having Bedard there. You know what I mean? I think those are huge. And I think Seth Jones, too, is another one. The guy gets so much shit for his contract and always overpays. Maybe he's making more money than you'd like to pay. The guy's been very, very, very good, and a first pairing defenseman, just exactly what you're paying for. So I have no issues there. It's just the rest of us just filling out the rest of this roster. They got tons of good, tons of draft equity the next couple of years still, and get cap space up the A. And it's like start taking on some of these bad contracts from other teams and absorbing the cap space and getting a pick or two with it, and because you got to get to the floor anyway. So
now, I mean, Matt,
it's what I talked about the whole time, all year. We were playing for at this point was playing for Bedard, and in somehow, some way, it worked out. So it's the rest. You just got to go from there.
Do you realistically think that this team, as constructed in the middle of July, can be one of those, last to in the playoffs, or are we still
probably not a playoff team, but they'll be way more entertaining to watch and way more competitive than they were especially in the second half of last year after the trading
Yeah.
Kane, and then after Taves was shut down, and it was just it's been a rough couple of years.
What's the outlook? Because Taves is a free agent now, right?
Yeah, I don't know what I'd be surprised if I'm about 70-30 that he won't play would be my gut.
Just you think he's just going to ride off?
Maybe not a year. Maybe you sit out a year or something too. But there's something.
I think he sits out a year. He's not coming back.
Yeah, maybe.
He has so many health problems. He has 3 Stanley Cups.
He has nothing to prove. He has nothing.
He has nothing to prove.
He will have a statue outside of the United Center at some point in his life.
Well, there's no reason for you to go out there and risk your health even more.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'd be 70-30 that he wouldn't play again. Kane's recovering from a surgery, so
it's way different. He had all that stuff with COVID and stuff like that, and it's always just been he's missed months and stuff like that during the season.
Yeah, I agree.
Why would you want to keep going with it? Like you said, take the money you've made. You're the king of Chicago. You said you're gonna have a statue. Nothing
right
else.
Out the sunset.
And maybe if they could just throw all that cap space to Austin Matthews next year too, would be really cool.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Just gonna drop that out there. That'd be really fun.
I think it'd be really fun to go somehow get Connor McDavid to come. And got Connor and Connor.
Yeah, I don't think that one's. I don't see Connor McDavid leaving Canada. I could see Austin Matthews leaving Canada though.
All right. Well, I guess we'll settle for Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews is an American kid, so I could see him coming back.
I'd be perfectly okay with that as well. But before we move on, we got to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Like I said at the top, they have the best coffee around that you are going to find. Get your day started off right. They work with our guy, Dom Frederick, and Ian Happ. He won a gold glove. Guys that win gold gloves don't drink bad coffee, all right? So it's good quality stuff. We wouldn't promote bad quality. We've been to the warehouse. We know them very well. Zach loves it. Everybody I know that's tried it loves it. So make sure you check out their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters, and get your morning started off right with some Connect Roasters coffee. So a big shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Boys, let's jump into the fun stuff. We've got Cookout today. We've got a new graphic. You got $20 to build your lineup. We know 4th of July was last week, but you know what? There's always time for cookouts in the summer, okay? So we got $20, and we can build our lineup here. It is on the screen. If you're not following on YouTube, make sure you go to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans, hit that red subscribe button there. Does anybody want to go first?
Well, first, Boomy, I know this might be annoying, but for the people listening to podcasts, can you tell them kind of what's going on here?
Okay, so our main course, I'm going to read these in order from 5 to 1. We've got ribs. I'm just going to go ahead and say sausages or brats, okay? That's our $4. Then cheeseburger, hot dog, chicken, side dish 1. Starting at 5, we've got mac and cheese, potato salad, coleslaw, macaroni salad, and watermelon salad. Side dish number 2, starting at $5, we've got deviled eggs, grilled veggies, baked beans, grilled corn, or potato chips. Beverage starting at $5. We've got cocktail going down to beer, lemonade, iced tea, and water. And then in the dessert category, starting at $5, we've got cherry pie, strawberry shortcake, cookies, ice cream sandwich, and then we're going to call those bomb pops. We're not calling those firecracker popsicles. So does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first, but I just want to make sure everyone listening kind of knew what was going on here.
Good call.
I'll go first. I'm going to spend $5 on ribs. Right off the bat, I'm spending $5 on ribs.
You're a big ribs guy.
Big. Then you know what? I'll go $4 for some potato salad.
All right. You're at 9.
Fine with $1 on potato chips. That's fine by me. So that's $10. I'll take a beer.
Okay.
$4.
So you can take anything from that bottom row.
Oh, give me some cherry pie. Some cherry pie.
I would prefer apple, but you know what? Cherry pie definitely goes a little bit harder in the summer, but to each their own. Cherry pie's not bad.
No.
I don't hate that at all. Maddie, do you want to go second? Or
He's my cherry pie.
I'll go. I'm gonna match Zach on the main course. Ribs is the easy answer on this one. So definitely going ribs there. I shout out to my kid. I got to take his favorite meal on the planet, mac and cheese. So that's numero uno for the side dish. And then the second side dish, I'm going to take the grilled corn. That puts me at $12. Beverage, cocktail, $17. No, excuse me. I'm going to go beer as well. So that's going to put me at $16. And then I'll take the strawberry shortcake to finish it off at $20.
Man, you guys both went. I like both of those. I would not turn either of those plates down, fellas. I'll tell you that.
On here really other than
the watermelon salad, it can just go ahead and jump off the fucking thing.
Oh, come on.
And I'm not a big
watermelon salad. Watermelon salad, coleslaw, and grilled veggies can go ahead and fuck off. The rest can
the grilled veggies look good though.
Yeah, this is like the best picture of grilled veggies I've ever seen. But
if you're hanging out with people that can grill veggies like that, then don't ever let them leave your life. We'll just put it that way.
Well,
that's fair.
I never liked onions, and we go to where like my grandpa was from up in Minnesota, almost the Canadian border. And his sister made like a spaghetti, but it had like grilled onions in it, like really good grilled onions. And I hate onions. I just like, onions are in it. I don't want to eat it. Tried it. They were amazing.
That sounds really good.
How to grill a vegetable correctly, I think they're all good.
Like I like a stuffed pepper, something like that. But like give me a carrot. Go ahead and fuck off.
I've never
So the only two things on here that I would toss out is coleslaw and baked beans. I'd take all the other ones.
You don't like baked beans?
No, not really.
What?
I could do without baked beans. I would
literally
take a watermelon salad before I would take baked beans.
But you know what?
I would take
just
everything
like
on this thing except watermelon salad, coleslaw, and grilled veggies.
But what I can say is,
and that's it.
Baked beans, potato salad. People can ruin those so quickly by putting some bullshit in it.
Yeah,
I always see like sometimes like there's the only thing I like in baked beans is bacon. Sometimes people put like little pieces of bacon, but people put onions and some dumb shit in it, or like potato.
You put
salad.
like summer sausage in there too, chunks of summer sausage.
That would be good.
I will go. I'll just go cheeseburgers. I love cheeseburgers. Side dish. Yeah, that's true. I moved that picture downstairs. It's not behind me anymore with cheeseburger Randy. I will also go mac and cheese. I love that pick there, Maddie. But it's also got to be done right. I've had some really bad mac and cheese, but I'll roll the dice there. So that puts me at 8. I'm going grilled corn on the second side dish. So that's at 10. I might save a little money here. I will also go cocktail, little summer. That one there on the picture also looks, really good. And then I love all the ones on the bottom. I'm going to go cookie just to be a little different. I love cookies. That strawberry shortcake.
A cookie at like a cookout. You don't know how long it's been sitting there.
Well, that's okay though, because if it's a good like chocolate chip cookie, that means the chocolate chips are probably a little melted, a little chewier. I'm okay with that.
Hot out.
That's where the whole second row gets thrown out the window, and that's why mac and cheese is the only answer for the second row, in my opinion. any of those, no, potato salad's good, but I'm saying any of those items left out for very long.
No, I think
potato salad,
right?
Potato salad will change colors in like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you're going to cook out at someone's house, and like those kinds of dishes, you build your plate inside and then you go sit on the patio.
I like potato salad. Definitely like potato salad.
Like really wish I would have taken potato chips. Wish I would have taken deviled eggs instead of potato chips.
Deviled eggs are
good.
Oh, good.
But sometimes I'll sit there and
corn can't go wrong.
They're just sitting there. You just 1, 2, 3. It's
like, how do you guys feel about? How do you feel about German potato salad?
No.
We beat them once. We'll beat them again.
We beat them twice, Matty.
Twice, actually. You're right. Yeah,
I've had that up
the
in
first
like
round.
Wisconsin area at that. I think you might have went there with us at Otto's.
That place is awesome.
But I've had the German potato salad. I'm not a fan.
We already
I'm
stole
big
brats
fan.
from them.
If you ever get the
Grilled
opportunity,
corn, I think would not be very good.
no,
Grilled
you're
corn is
wrong. Grilled corn is
fantastic, dude.
amazing.
I don't know.
I don't like it like
burnt.
that though. I grill it with the husk on.
Yeah, you definitely got to go husk on
I
there.
don't want
Traps the
burnt.
moisture.
That and it gives you the built-in handle too.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Are people bringing ice cream sandwiches to cookouts? Because that's hilarious.
Ice
That
cream
is pretty
sandwiches
fun.
are dynamite though.
I know they're
very good.
awesome. They're awesome. And if somebody's like, I got some ice cream sandwiches at the bottom of this cooler,
Dude, if you're at someone's house and they bust out of the freezer in the garage, there's just a box of ice cream sandwiches, they will not last more than 12 minutes.
I can eat 100.
Yeah, they go down so easy, they just slide down.
It's like potato chips. It's whether like you eat so many potato chips, just like there's 12 pack of ice cream sandwiches. They're gone.
Summer food is dynamite.
Especially if they're just a little bit they're not super hard. They're like a little mushy. They just go right down.
I'm gonna grill this weekend now, that's for sure.
I'm also gonna get some ice cream sandwiches.
No.
I love it. Speaking of summers, another big thing in the summer, concerts. We're going to do one called Concert Season is our newest segment here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go see 4 bands. Your first one, you can have an opener, which I'm considering like a smaller local band artist, someone that you see, a little bit is smaller right now that you enjoy. And then I'll give you 2 medium-sized bands that you enjoy, and then 1 big name, a headliner. Does anybody want to go first?
I want to go third.
Third, okay. Zach, do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
My first opener it's Tristan Bushman. He's from Ashton, Illinois. He just, I think a few years ago, moved to Nashville. First time I'd ever heard of him was he was at my aunt's like anniversary or something like that. Well, I guess it'd be my aunt and uncle's anniversary. And he was chosen to play at the party, played a bunch of covers or whatever, and come to find out, I think he made it to Hollywood on the American Idol. I don't know if it's the American Idol. And he's from Ashton, Illinois, which is probably 25 minutes from here, Chance?
Yeah, about a half hour maybe.
And I followed him on Instagram, kind of followed his singing career in Nashville. He's got some songs out. He got an album out. It sounds pretty awesome. And hopefully we can get him on the podcast sometime soon. Be awesome to kind of hear how it is to move from Ashton, Illinois to Nashville, Tennessee. But he would be my small, he's going to be big, but he's, I would say just a local band is what we'd say there.
I was at that party. That kid's good. You know how I feel about country music most of the time, but he's pretty damn talented.
These bands that they sing cover songs or whatever, but when you kind of like sit there and like, did he almost sing that better than the person who actually made the song? It's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
My 2 medium-sized bands. My number 1, Hardy. He's awesome. He tours with. I think he's an opener, or he's right before Morgan Wallen. So that's why I guess I would say he's medium.
He's another one. I'm not a big country music guy, but I like Hardy. He's a little bit more rock and roll than country music sometimes.
My medium-sized band, they're not so medium. I can't say they're medium. They're probably a headliner. But when I saw them, they were medium. And that's
I know what you're doing here.
21 Pilots. I'm calling them medium because I'm not saying right now. I'm saying when I saw them in Joliet and stuff like that. I can do what I want here.
All right, I'll give it to you.
I want to throw it out there. I can use historic bands too, correct?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Matt, we can do whatever we want.
Thank you.
It's our show, man. We can do whatever we want.
Pilots, like 2012. That's who I would have there. Kind of like a Woodstock kind of thing of who you wish could be places. And then my headliner, easy, Zach Bryan. He is awesome. He's actually, as we're recording, he's at the Windy City Smoke is it Sweeney City Smokeout?
Yeah.
He's performing there tonight, which sucks. I wish I could have gone to that. But Zach Bryan, he's awesome.
He's another one. I don't get angry when you put Zach Bryan on. His stuff's not bad. So I
cannot wait to hear Chances, honestly.
Oh,
I cannot just wait to see what happens here.
Mine is on it. You probably have maybe heard of one of the bands that I have.
Well, yeah. Hey, Maddie, ask him what bands he went and saw Sunday.
I saw three bands on Sunday. Maddie, you might know one. Under Oath was kind of big in like the kind of like screamo era in like the mid 2000s.
Are you saying that Maddie liked screamo?
No, I'm just saying they were like they were on like MTV2 and MTV and stuff. So during that time,
I don't know of them. The name maybe it doesn't sound familiar, but it doesn't sound like something I've never heard either. If that makes sense.
So they were the opener, and then one of my favorite bands right now, Ice Nine Kills. They do like horror
Ice
movie
Spice?
theme.
Is that what you said?
Ice 9, the number 9 Kills.
If you went and saw
Ice
Ice
9
Spice,
Kills.
that would be salty. I'd be like, like me?
And then the headliner Sunday was a band called Falling in Reverse. They were pretty solid. They're not my favorite. I wanted to see the Ice Nine Kills. That's one of my favorite bands.
I mean,
but yeah,
honestly,
that concert was amazing.
Not making fun of it, just I knew Maddie would have no idea.
Am I too old to go to Riot Fest this year? Because there's a few bands there that I want to go see.
No,
I'm trying to figure out.
Don't ever.
You and Boomy go together. It's like, oh, they're two dads just hanging out.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I love concerts. I'll go ahead and do mine. Mine are all over the place. Not really, but you probably never heard of most of these. My opener is a band. I believe they were formed in Princeton, Illinois. A little bit more like alternative, kind of rock type music. But they're called 5 a.m. Out of Princeton. A little bit softer. I don't think they do much screaming for you guys that were concerned. But no, they're really solid. I think one of their members was in one of my buddies' band back when we were in college. And I listened to them, a little bit here and there. They're coming out with new music. They also just did it's been in the last year or so, did a song with one of like the bigger names in that, spectrum, a kid named Kellen Quinn, who was the lead singer of, oh my God, I'm going to draw a blank for all Sleeping with Sirens. So they just did a big song with him. So they're starting to get a little bit.
Have some of the wildest names I've ever heard of.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I set my friends on fire.
Like water and shit too. Water and like earthy, like,
Ocean Bait, Alaska.
Do some drugs and we'll find out what our name's gonna be.
Yeah, you guys are all making really good points. My two medium-sized bands are probably the two bands I listen to the most right now, and that is Our Hollow, Our Home. This band out of the UK that I like a lot. Listen to them a ton right now, and Architects. They're out of Australia. They're really solid. But I would want to see
their like 7 people at this show with you.
Dude, Architects just headlined a festival in Miami. So piss off, Maddie.
That's just stealing a word.
Yeah, they're really good though. I really like their older stuff, but yeah. What are you going to do? And then my headliner, I would hope that I know Zach's at least heard of these guys, but A Day to Remember. That's one of my favorite bands of all time. So they had some really like.
So it sounds like if I went to this concert, I would get there right at the end.
You would miss out.
I would see A Day to Remember.
A Day to Remember. I've seen. I really want to see A Day to Remember.
That would be A Day to Forget.
That was a good one.
Cut this guy off.
Man.
You've never heard All I Want or what's the big one that everybody knows?
Is you?
For like the last 2 months, Maddie's been thinking of that joke.
A Day to Remember is amazing. I don't care what anybody says. They're one of my favorite bands of all time.
His name is also set up for failure too.
Yeah, that's sure. I haven't seen them since like Warped Tour 2011. So
is Warped Tour
got a lot bigger since it. What?
Is Warped Tour still like a tour?
Nope. Warped Tour ended in 2019.
It used to be like a skate festival and like a music festival.
Yeah, like it started off at like early or mid 90s. And I went every year for almost 10 years.
Riot Fest kind of took their thunder away too, didn't they?
Yeah, the guy that ran it kind of got just tired of the jaunt, but there's rumors it's coming back. I'm very excited if it does.
Maddie, what is Riot Fest?
This is like a 3-day concert, mostly like harder, kind of like punkish rock kind of.
Who's the bands you want to see at that, Maddie?
I can't give it away because one of them's on my list
All
here
right.
coming up.
All right, let's hear the list.
All right, so my opener, I'm gonna go with a band that I heard for the first time when I was in high school. They're from like the Lisle, Naperville area for the small band category or local band category. Kind of an early 2000s, late 90s kind of punk, kind of ska-ish kind of band. It's Lucky Boys Confusion. I like them a lot. Good throwback for me personally.
You say
so that's
Lucky, like Lucky at a casino?
Yes, Lucky Boys Confusion.
Okay.
I think Boomy, I do think you would actually like them. So them, I'm gonna go with my small band. For my middle tier, I'm gonna go with two bands that I've seen that were both like not the main. They were not the headliner when I saw them. They were one was the first one I'm gonna say was a Lollapalooza like noon when I saw them the first time, and they are also playing at Riot Fest. I think they're headlining one of the days now. It's Queens of a Stone Age. I really like them a lot. Been around for a long time. Just good vibe to it.
Yeah, those Lolla noon stages are wild.
Yeah, and like they were like the main stage, like the first band of the day on the main stage, and they were just dynamite. I've been hooked since I heard them that day.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but when I went to Lolla, I saw Outkast and Eminem.
Nice. I saw Eminem at United Center. It was probably my favorite show of all time.
He brought out Rihanna. I almost fainted.
He came out with a chainsaw wearing like this was like this was like early 2000s Eminem. So
yeah, this was like 2014 Eminem.
Yeah. It was when he was at his peak. It was awesome. But my other second middle tier, I'm gonna go with Cage the Elephant. I saw them a couple times. Saw them at the Riv on New Year's Eve one year, and the lead singer was like 3 a.m. We all went and got food, and we came back walking back by the Riv, and he was or no, it wasn't the Riv, it was the Aragon there. Sorry.
Oh, Aragon's amazing.
Yeah, I like the Aragon a lot. And so we got food, came back, go to the L, and he's out of the tour bus just playing on his guitar for like 5 people circled around him. So me and Maggie and our friends that were with us, we just like sat there for like 15 minutes just listening to this dude play his guitar.
That's awesome.
That was awesome. So KG Elephant, and then for the headliner, I don't know what way to go. I got a lot. I'm more into mainstream bands than not mainstream bands, so I'm kind of stuck in this category. I'm going to pick a band that I wouldn't say is my favorite band, but it's a band I never got to see live, and I would love to see live because I bet they put on a monster show when they were big, and that's Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, yeah, that's a great pick.
My brother saw him when he was in college and before they like kind of blew up, and it's like that's one band I really wish I got to see in their prime. So that's why they're going to be my headliner.
That one, yeah. That's also one I wish I could have seen 10 years earlier, just because I feel like you have to get into a mosh pit during a Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, and I'm nowhere near getting.
Yeah, 32-year-old me doesn't go into mosh pits anymore.
No, I'm trying to get in the like the sky.
I've never been a fan of mosh pits. That's just
I loved mosh pits. It
was never much of an issue for once you're over like 5'7", it's usually not a problem.
No, thank you.
Yeah. We had some good times in mosh pits back in Warped Tour days, but yeah, no more. I'll pay to do this.
Like punch and hit like on purpose.
Oh, I've had bloody noses, all that good stuff from it. So punched in the eye a couple times. It's fun, man.
It's funny you brought this category up because I don't know if my brother's going to listen to this episode or not. He usually does, but a few years ago we had my brother and my sister and I, it was the first time we'd all done something together. We went on a road trip. It was when my grandma was shortly after she was diagnosed with cancer. It was terminal. So the 3 of us drove down to visit her down in Tennessee. And it was about a 7.5-hour drive. And the whole way down, we basically we did like fantasy drafts of building a festival. But it was like, it turned into like 5 bands a day. For 7 days we did. So we did like basically 35 and there was no overlap. So we had like notebook pages that it was
There's no such thing as the festival you put on.
Yeah, so it was
Imagine
just like
a 7-day festival.
Like it was literally like listening to a dog walk draft because all we were doing was like ripping on each other. So it was like the one time me, my brother, and my sister have all been able to do something. It was for something that was obviously not.
So you're telling me you guys actually came up with the dog walk?
I guess I think we originated it, and that was the dog walk marathon because it was like I said, I think we went 7 total days.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, that's awesome because you could do different genre days. Right?
That's exactly what we started doing. There was strategy going on. There was definitely taking picks that you knew, like I knew my brother was like
next
targeting.
time me and Chance do like a road trip, this is what he's gonna want to do now.
Yeah, 100%.
It's actually very fun, but it gives you a chance too. Like if you haven't heard or if you're into different music that you might pick up, like you just throw them on, like play a song real quick off Spotify or whatever while you're driving. So it was a very fun road trip game to say the least.
Hell yeah. I'll put that down in the notes for our trip next summer. So perfect, Zach. Guys, let's go ahead and wrap things up. As always, we've got the TCF top 3, and our category this week is fruit. So we'll go through, and I don't want to hear any argument. Oh, this is a fruit. This is a vegetable. If we think it's a fruit, it's a fruit. All right.
True. Whatever you say.
All right. Fair enough. Does anybody want to go first?
Like I said, I've written down 2012 21 Pilots. So we do what we want here.
Exactly. Renegades of the podcast world. Does anybody want to go first?
Pineapple. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
I do enjoy pineapple. I can't really unless you eat a little too much, you get a little canker sore.
When you say pineapple, I feel like I'm spitting. If I have too much pineapple, I get like sores in my mouth.
Yeah, that's the only downfall there, but I am with you. I also enjoy pineapple flavored things as well. Matt, would you like to go second, or do you want to
go for it? I like to go third.
You always take that damn wrap around.
I like to go third. I like to go third because I'm the oldest, you're the middle, and Zach's the youngest. So it works out well.
I'll take it.
Fair enough. I'll go watermelon. Oh. Love watermelon.
That's my second.
I do wish that it was a little more readily available year round. I love watermelon, but because sometimes you catch those ones in the winter and you're like, this is
Have you ever seen Dave Portnoy, how he does it? He has this sweet little tool that he cuts at the one side, and he does it, and it turns them all into little cubes.
Yeah, I've seen those things on TikTok. Yeah.
That's amazing.
You guys both took fruits that probably wouldn't be on my top 3, but I do like a lot. Pineapple is one of those things, like I don't necessarily like it on its own, but like with anything else, pineapple is out. Like it's got such a good accent flavor to literally everything on the planet. Like
that's a good point.
It. People who don't like pineapple on a pizza, I think you're fucking raccoon taste, and you have no consideration for trying anything new.
I love it.
And then
I'm glad we're all on the same page. I love pineapple.
Shout out to the local greatest meat market on the planet, Reams. They have a bratwurst. It's called pineapple brats. They got little chunks of pineapple in the brat, dude. They're dynamite.
I just got one of those from Hy-Vee last week. Threw it on the Blackstone, and it's similar, but yeah, incredible.
Pineapple is such a good accent fruit. Like it makes everything better. It does. Pineapple's so good. Also watermelon, solid choice, especially in the summer. So good picks, both you guys. But I'm lucky. I'm glad I got my number 1 pick for the 3 spot, and that is specifically cotton candy grapes. Those things are the greatest fruit that has ever graced our planet. I don't care if it's modified, created in a lab, whatever it is. It's a fruit, and it is dynamite. They taste literally like cotton candy.
It's like
I could just sit there and like just pop them. Dude, they're so good. They're so good. On the wrap, I'm also.
I love the name too.
Yeah, and the second one, it's going to be another staple. Call me boring, but it's also very versatile. You can eat it on its own. You can eat it as a supplement to a wonderful dessert dish, and that is strawberry.
Oh, I knew it.
I had a feeling.
That's a great.
I had a feeling you were going there.
I love strawberry.
Eat cotton candy grapes and strawberries together. Give me those in a bowl.
My grandma makes like a what's it called?
Strawberry shortcake is
It's kind of like
best.
that.
Is the best.
Or a strawberry
dessert.
pretzel salad. That is a top tier.
Oh, those are good too. The Jello, the strawberry.
It's that one. I think it's like a little fluffy cake, and then you put strawberries and like ice cream
angel
on it.
food cake. Yep.
Pound cake.
Strawberries just make
Yep.
things better.
Strawberries are
that is true.
Man, that's a good pick.
My next pick, I'm gonna go with a peach. I love peaches. You get a little bit of variance.
You mean like
everything.
peaches, right? Just regular peaches. Okay.
Just regular peaches.
Mackinac peaches?
I didn't know there was a difference in peaches.
You weren't a Seinfeld guy, no? Did you ever watch
I've watched Seinfeld all the way through. It's so much I don't understand all the references.
They were driving from the mail truck to go get the Mackinac peaches.
What a show.
Okay. I know what you're talking about now. Yep, peaches. I like that picket too in my second round.
Peaches are very good. Another one that's versatile. Great in a
here,
smoothie too.
My favorite part in Seinfeld is when Kramer. It's Kramer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cosmo Kramer.
He like retired from the bagel business, and he goes back, or I think it was like something like they went on strike or something like that, and then he finally went back to the bagel business.
The best job Kramer had in that whole series was the movie phone. That was
yes, that's a classic.
Why don't you tell me what it is you're looking for?
He got spit on by the baseball player.
Oh God! Then he got
what a show. Zach, you got two here.
I'm gonna go bananas.
Yeah, okay, good choice.
I love bananas. Some people don't like bananas.
Okay. You can't trust somebody that doesn't like bananas.
I know people who probably don't.
I will say banana flavored things taste a little off.
You guys took
but I love banana popsicles. Banana popsicles are good.
We'll go cherries. I like cherries.
I'm not sure I'd have taken cherries. I don't hate cherries. I
don't like oranges. I don't like oranges.
I didn't know that.
No, I think the way you eat them is dumb. I feel like people just usually just like suck on them. They don't even eat them really.
All right, fair enough. My last pick.
Tell me if I'm wrong here. You can't make it seem
like
you
don't eat the orange. What are you talking about?
Like I feel like people just like suck the orange flavor out and then don't eat the whole thing. I don't think everyone's doing that.
I don't think anyone's sucking on an orange.
I think you need to try a cutie then, because cuties are dying.
Oh
yeah, that's
my nephew.
Clementine.
They have the most of the time. No, thank you.
That's another thing. You just sit there and pop. Or you just rip them off.
I don't even like orange juice. Quickly. That's the thing. I don't like orange juice.
I'm conflicted here. I have two that I'm going in between. I'll bring the other one up.
What's up with the face there?
The orange juice hate is just it's.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I just not a big fan.
I'm flabbergasted.
Matt, hot take here. I like orange juice with as much pulp as possible.
There was this
I bet you do.
Called AK. You ever been to AK?
Which one?
Cans?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When they squeeze it right there for you?
Well the machine just does it.
They got vats in. They got
fucking
buckets.
That makes orange juice.
Yeah.
It's like
they do it with grapefruit juice.
Like
grapefruit juice is trashola.
They're also like, they're like, here's our fresh orange juice as they're pouring it in like the.
But the problem is you don't get it out of that. You get it out of some pitcher that's been sitting in the fridge for about 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's just for show.
My last pick, I'm gonna go with. I'll go with a kiwi. I love kiwi, but the problem there is it's a lot of work. Yes, kiwi.
They're good. They're good. I just it's one that just doesn't make it in the regular rotation.
Here's my issue. We are so far into modern science. How have we not grown kiwis that don't have to require a scalpel and surgery work to get the skin off?
It takes that much work.
It's kind of a pain in the ass.
No, it's not worth it.
It should be like an orange where you just peel out the outside skin, but it's a pain.
And then you suck on it.
No one sucks on fruit. I don't know where you're getting this. I would love to just pick up an orange, suck on it, and just throw it out.
I've seen people do it before. Don't give me that chance.
No one sucks on oranges, you weirdo.
People do.
Maddie, wrap this up.
I've got a few that I could go to. I'm gonna. Man, I'm gonna pick one I don't like. I'm gonna end up picking one I don't like.
Well, don't do that.
Fine. I'm gonna pick one, and it's not the one that you can eat on its own, but it's one that it's apples. I'm not a
Thank you.
nerd. It's one that you don't eat on its own typically, unless you're an absolute serial killer. But for what it can do for everything else in the world is lemons.
Thank you. That's a great pick, Matthew.
I like the scent. I love the smell of lemons. I like lemon juice.
You want a lemon in your water? No, I'd ask if I want a lemon in my water.
I do want lemon. When they suggested it's so good, I forget about it. And then they add.
I just want water.
Lemons, but lemon zest and stuff, dude. Lemons are a sneaky
lemon flavored things.
Yes. So sign me up for lemons. It's like I said, not on their own, obviously.
It's another fruit that's kind of like sucked on.
Well, no one just eats lemon.
Yeah, only for taking a shot.
This is Zach's theory on people sucking on fruit is one
my
of the
list of
funniest things
sucked
I've heard.
on fruit.
All right, I'll go off a couple we haven't named. You guys tell me yay or nay here. Mangoes. I love mangoes.
Yay. That was what
Just
I was considering. I was considering mangoes with the lemon. So
I was between mangoes and kiwis.
I just a woat fruit.
I like
muskmelon.
I like blueberries.
Love muskmelon.
No, that's the woat. Worst of all time.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, like it's like honeydew melon, cantaloupes.
Oh no, get out of here! Those are.
Is that what it's called?
Oh, I think the actual name of a muskmelon is cantaloupe.
Oh well, either way, woat.
Awful.
No, those are good.
Honeydew sucks too.
Wrong.
What?
Let's see. Pears.
Honeydew?
You guys, pears guys.
Fine. Pears.
Wait. We forgot
all
about
right,
the
so
one and only
cantaloupes.
Plums. Do you like plums?
I think
I like
cantaloupes are orange, and honeydew are green.
Yes.
You forgot about the main fruit, pawpaw fruit.
The hell is pawpaw fruit?
There's a pawpaw tree, a pawpaw fruit. It's the thing. It's disgusting, but there is a pawpaw fruit.
Pomegranate's good. Papaya
like pomegranate.
Dragon fruit.
Dragon fruit's really good. Getting a lot of work.
Kind of.
Yeah. You don't eat the outside though.
I mean, unless you're a fucking real maniac.
How about pears? You guys like pears? Yeah, Zach might suck on it.
Pears are fine. Pears are just.
Yeah, pears are there.
I've never gone to the store and gotten a pear.
Maggie with her pear face. Maggie with her pear face. So I was buying pears for a while.
As far as like.
Yeah, like she was like repeatedly for a couple weeks wanted pears at the grocery list.
And then one day,
as far as like,
I think she realized they're just like a trash hole in the middle of the road, fruit.
Also shaped, I think, dumbly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't really argue.
What about plums? Do you like plums?
Love plums.
Plums seem like a waste, but they're good.
They are really good. I'm with nectarines. Nectarines.
I like cuties though. Cuties are very good too.
What about
every fruit known to man?
How do you guys feel about the berry family, like blackberries, raspberries?
Nope.
Mid.
I'm out.
I love berries.
Those are smoothie additives in my opinion.
Well, that's blueberries, kind of the similar one.
I like blueberries.
A lot of fruits have just become like ingredients to somebody's smoothie.
I got a 4 fruit, or actually 5 every day on my smoothie. It's bananas, strawberries, mango, pineapple, and peach, and then spinach.
You're getting all.
I've seen the produce prices at the grocery store. Things are going well at the old school field house.
No, you buy the Costco frozen blend.
All right, well, you win that.
Because that's got 4 of the fruits. That's got 4 of them in there, and then you just add half a banana and half a cup of I use. Half the cup is spinach, and the rest is the fruit. A little bit of yogurt and milk, almond milk.
You guys know, I saw this one.
You want a video tomorrow morning? I'll do a video tomorrow morning.
I saw this one blend. I think it was at Aldi, and it was a really solid blend. It was like an exotic fruit, frozen fruit, and it was like kiwis and dragon fruits and like all this other stuff. And then at the end, they had frozen avocado chunks in it.
Oh my!
Get out of here! No, I love avocados. Keep them away from my
Avocado
kids.
sucks. Avocados trash.
We'll have to do the top 3 vegetables next week. But
There's one. It's corn, and that's it.
I'm a big peppers guy. I like peppers, but
I guess that falls in the veggie category. But you have to be specific then, because we're gonna be fighting over poblanos and red, green, orange.
Can I say something real quick? You know we need football when we spend this much time on.
Yeah, that's very true.
Right. We need football back, boys.
Let's wrap it up.
We had a 3-minute conversation about sucking on fruit. So that was episode 100.
I will be putting my list out tomorrow of what fruits can be sucked on.
Watch out for the breakfast smoothie video too. I just might need Zach to chop it up for me.
We'll have that tomorrow.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. Thank you for joining us. That was episode 163. Shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. All of our social media, any social media you use, find us on there. Type in Typical Chicago Fans, follow, give it a like, whatever you can do. Content, video content is on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe there. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast. Tell a friend, tell another friend, tell a couple more friends. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, Zach at ZLiliaTCF, and Maddie at schools_01. We appreciate you joining us. That was episode 163 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.